before this video starts, I'm gonna do something special for this card, for this UFC White House card. And yeah, I'm gonna do 2 contests. $25 a piece, Discord and YouTube, and you can win both contests. It's not just, oh, you can win Discord, you can win YouTube, you can win both. And the competition is the same exact thing for both. It's as simple as this, and I have done this multiple times before, and I'm doing it again. So the contest is as simple as this. Give your full card predictions for UFC Freedom 250, Topuria versus Gaethje. So fighter, method, and round in the comment section of this very video right here. Again, your fighter, method, and round for all 7 fights. Whoever gets the most right will win the $25 or the $50. And the same for Discord. I will have my prediction channel use the prediction channel in my Discord. I will post a link below so you can join that as well and enter that as well. You know, get bragging rights, win some money potentially. Again, YouTube and Discord. But in Discord prediction channel, give your fighter, method, and round for every single fight. Whoever gets the most fighters, get the most right. Whether it's like they got the more fighters and methods right or however it goes. Yeah, whoever gets the most right will win the $25 or the $50 if you participate in both. But yeah, whoever gets the most right will get the money and we'll get the win. We'll get the bragging rights. And it's simple as that. So 2 competitions, YouTube and Discord. Discord, the prediction channel. YouTube, the comment section of this very video right here. Don't try to post your picks or predictions when the fight's already started or on the day of. Get them in before the day of. All right, definitely at the very least get them in before the card starts. So when the card starts, it's void. If you go back and try to edit anything, it's void. Just go in. You only need one take Drake. Post your full picks. Don't try to go back and edit nothing. I mean, you can probably delete and post another one, but if I see edited, I'm not accepting. So make sure it's not edited. Don't go and try to edit nothing. If you do got to edit it before the time, just delete and come back and then post it again and make some changes. But on the day of, I'm not accepting no more things. So if it's posted on the day of the fights, then it's void. If it's edited, it's void. So try to get them in at least before the day of the fights. And that's all you got to do. On YouTube and Discord, same exact thing. Whoever gets the most picks right. And if it's like a tiebreaker, then whoever has maybe one more method right or this and that, something like that, then it'll be a tiebreaker some way. And if it's just neck and neck tie all the way down, then maybe we'll do some rock, paper, scissors or something. Maybe we'll meet up and y'all can box or something for the $25 or the $50. But yeah, usually it's one clear winner. But if it does come down to tiebreaker, then it's going to be some way we can break that tie. Rock, paper, scissors, y'all play UFC, video game, y'all box, y'all play fight night, something. Flip a coin, heads or tails. Some type of way the tie is going to be broken if it does come down to a tie. But most likely we won't need to break a tie. Most likely. But yeah, whoever gets the most picks right will get the $25. Y'all do it in both. Then whoever gets both in the most right in both could potentially get $50. And it's as simple as that. But last but not least, if you guys get this video to 100 likes, I will do this again the following week. And if you guys, in the next video, following week, next prediction video, following week, and if you get my channel to 10,000 subscribers, then I will do this every week following for the rest of this year. And also I will give out my full bets for every single card for the remaining of the year if you guys get me to 10K subscribers. So y'all got plenty of incentives to get me to 10K subscribers, plenty of incentives to like this video, and plenty of incentives to comment. Like something for nothing, just for doing what you should be doing anyway. So yeah, get involved, and let's get on to the video. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, me and Proschmo Best will be predicting the full card of fights for UFC Freedom 250, Topuria versus Gaethje. But that's not all. We will be having a challenge between me and Proschmo Best, who shall get the most predictions right for UFC Freedom 250, Topuria versus Gaethje. Whoever gets the most picks right will get $100 from the others. So it's a versus, friendly versus. We cool and all, but there's no friends when it's war. Like whoever gets the most right will get 100 from the other. So a personal, friendly wager between each other. It ain't no DraftKings, no that. It's between me and Proschmo Bets. Maybe Zelle, maybe this, maybe that, but money will be exchanged. $100 wager, $100 war. Who will get the most picks right on this historic White House card? So yeah, Let's get into predictions. So the first fight we have in the featherweight division, we got Diego Lopes versus Steve Garcia. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Steve Garcia to beat Diego Lopes. I feel like Lopes is a solid fighter, but I just don't feel like he's not the smartest guy. I feel he's just like a plan A guy. And even we saw the Dan Ige fight, he fought like he was the one who came in on short notice. Like he was teeing off on Dan Ige, but then down the stretch, Dan Ige started to walk him down, started to tee off on him. And like, yeah, Lopes is a guy that's, again, he don't really have those plan Bs, plan Cs. Garcia has plan Bs, he has plan Cs. He pushes the better tempo. He's a guy that builds into the fight. Whereas Lopes, he's a guy that kind of declines his fight. Like he comes out hot and then it kind of plateaus. And then whereas Garcia's a guy that it's only gonna get worse. So you're getting done up bad by Garcia in round 1, you're gonna be getting stopped in round 3. Like he's a guy that builds in the fight. Whereas Lopes is like the opposite. He kind of falls apart. Even fights he can be dominated, he'll start to fade in them. And he just really looks for these big shots. He relies too much on his power. He relies too much on his strength. And even his fight where he beat John Silva, like his defense ain't showing no improvement in his defense. John Silva was walking down, hitting him like 90% accuracy, 80% accuracy. Like he was there to be hit. In the second Volkanovski fight, still there to be hit. Like nothing really changes about it. Garcia has shown continual evolution. I think he's a better striker. I think he's a more technical striker. He pushes better tempo. And again, I like the fact that he builds in the fight. I do worry about Garcia's chin, but overall, I feel like Garcia is clearly the better fighter. He'll be able to push, he'll be able to build, be able to outwork, and he'll be able to beat Lopes. I can see him stopping Lopes, but I see a decision here. So in this one, I got Steve Garcia, low confidence to beat Diego Lopes by decision. So in this one, I got Steve Garcia via decision. So how do you feel about this one?
And that's not to downplay Diego Lopes at all, right? We understand that Steve Garcia, the counter strikers, is Garcia's kryptonite. We've seen with Mahashit how he, any step back leads to someone countering him and potentially knocking him out. He's been hurt in the past. We've seen a counter uppercut, a counter elbow with Diego Lopes against Sodiq Yusuff. We've seen it against Gene Silva. So when you mention the chin, and then you mention how Steve Garcia could come on to Diego Lopes, for sure, it's Diego Lopes or no, it's Steve Garcia or no one here, especially with all that edge on plus 154, the American side. But there are vulnerabilities. So you have the slip off center, you could fire back right into the space, that Garcia would exit. One thing you did mention that I thought was incredible was if we potentially see Diego Lopes doing incredible in round 1 or maybe the first minute or two of round 2, he's certainly falling apart. So I like how you touched on momentum. A lot of times, people, they overlook a qualitative metric like that. So we got Steve Garcia. I'm tailing you on that one on the money line.
And you got him by decision, stoppage? How do you got him?
So I'm definitely taking him by a late round stoppage now that you broke that down, baby. Let's go.
All right, so round 3 stoppage. So mine is decision for Garcia. His is round 3 TKO stoppage. So if that is one of the dividers in this war we got here, I got decision, he got stopped. So if he wins by decision, that's the last thing that comes down to, then I win. If it comes down to that and he gets a stoppage, then Proschmo bets, will be the one winning the wager. So that's the first prediction between us. We got the same guy, but different methods. And then nextly, we have in the middleweight division, we got Bo Nickal versus Cal Daukaus. And how do I feel about this one right here is I'll go average confidence, Bo Nickal to beat Cal Daukaus. So Cal Daukaus is making a little bit of noise right now. But by no means at any point in his career has he ever fought a wrestler the level of Bo Nickal in his prime like Bo Nickal is. Bo Nickal was like a 2 or 3 time NCAA champion, fought at a world level, had some good badges there, some good scalps there as well. So he's a high level wrestler, big, young, strong. And the last couple of wrestlers that Daukaus has fought, well, the one wrestler he did fight was Phil Hawes. Phil Hawes wrestled up pretty easily. He lost to Eric Anders in both MMA, and right after he lost him in grappling. So Daukaus grappling ain't that great. And then he's fought like a Marshart, who's never really been a great offensive wrestler. And it's not like he even had a chance to really grapple too much. He stopped him in like 50 seconds. He clubbed and subbed him in 50 seconds. So it wasn't like he even had to defend a lot of Marshart's takedowns or really fight the best version of Marshart. Marshart gets better as the fight goes on. So he got him out of there early. It's not like he fought Marshart, came in the fight, had to push, and Marshart was pushing him in the second, and then he had to find something. Now you got him out in 50 seconds. So technically you didn't really even fight the best version of Rashard. Not to say that Rashar's all that's great, he would have beat him regardless, but he didn't fight him in the toughest situation, I guess. He got him out there in the perfect scenario. So yeah, got out grappled by Gane in pure grappling, got dominated him on the feet. Phil Hall's later wrestling. So there's still no track record of Doc has been able to deal well with the style. Bo Nickal came off a tough loss, he rebounded well. His striking is better than ever. He has power. He always had power. He has the rest. I think he'll be able to take down Daukaus pretty much at will. And then once you start getting him his, get him respect in the wrestling, he'll be able to come over top with the rear hand and touch his chin with power. Maybe be able to throw some head kicks up there as well. But ultimately, I think Bo Nickal's wrestling and his physicality and his pace is going to be too much for Daukaus. I think he's going to be bullying him and dictating the pace. Put him on the back foot, the rear hand, and the takedowns. Break him down. And I see like a third round TKO stoppage for Bo Nickal here. Well, I'm gonna say second round TKO stoppage here for Bo Nickal. Like late second round TKO stoppage for Bo Nickal. I think his wrestling will be too much. His top pressure, his ground and pound, his power. And then once he starts to get his respect in wrestling, hands gonna drop, catch him, drop him, fall up to the ground, finish with some ground and pound, mid to late second round TKO for Bo Nickal. So in this one, I got Bo Nickal via second round TKO. So how do you feel about this one, Proschmo?
Yeah, same deal. Not trying to downplay Kyle Daukaus. I'm telling you on that too. Bo Nickal by KO TKO. His speed, man, is just very overwhelming. Provided he also, baits. He feints very well, and he likes for his opponents to drop their hands. So he's pretty much going to disarm Kyle Daukaus in there, blast doubles and ground and pound. Man, that's how I see it.
And which round do you have it?
I'm thinking it's going to happen in the second. Kyle Daukaus has an active guard, man. An arm bar, he could shoot up for a triangle choke. But Bo is too strong, man, on the ground, man. He's got strong top control. Relentless, top, elite in that division.
So you're saying second round TKO. So we got the same exact one here. Second round TKO? Or are you saying?
Yeah, KO TKO, yep.
All right. So on that one, we'll have not a draw, but like I was trying to do a Monopoly reference, like free play, I guess, or
free play.
Yeah, something like that, because we both got the same thing. Next one, we got in the lightweight division, we got Mauricio Ruffy versus Michael Chandler. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'll go average confidence. Mauricio Ruffy to beat Michael Chandler. And Michael Chandler's an amazing fighter, but he's pushing 40 years old. And once you get to this age, this is not the EPO's TRT era, where Chael Sonnen was in, where they allowed that, you're 38 now, you can have a second resurgence will allow you to take TRT because your testosterone low. It's not the era no more. As soon as that era ended, you start to see a lot of guys that started to have second, wins like Randy Couture and Dan Henderson and Chael Sonnen, all those like American wrestlers that started to have second wins because they still have all that skill and all that experience, and they get to take TRT. The UFC will allow it. And so they have all that experience and they get to take testosterone. You start to see them have second resurgences. But those second resurgences start to become less and less, especially for wrestlers. Because wrestling is the most exhausting part of MMA. And when you start to get 38 and you can't take TRT legally, you can't wrestle that same way you did when you were 25, 26. So Chandler, even though he will have the wrestling upside, at this age, he's not going to have the ability to really wrestle for 50 minutes if necessary. Maybe like 3 minutes good, maybe even 5 minutes to stretch, maybe 6 minutes, but 15 minutes, no. And I think for him to do that, he would have to, again, take some TRT, allow him to take some TRT, maybe that while to give him a special allowance or something, because it's at the White House and he's an American fighter, he's a patriot or whatever. But I'm not counting on that. I'm expecting the same Chandler we've been seeing lately. Again, this is not Chandler from Bellator. This is not from Chandler from 10 years ago. I don't think he'll be able to wrestle for, 10, 15 minutes. It'll be about 6 minutes at most. And I think Ruffy has been working. I think he'll be able to address the wrestling. And I think he'll be able to beat a much sharper, much longer striker. He's a much taller guy, much faster guy, great counters. And Chandler already leaves himself way too open. He just be throwing that rear hand, chin be up, coming in square. So I can see him running to knees to the chest, knees to the chin, running to uppercuts. And I think Ruffy's going to have a field day. And I'm going to say Ruffy stops him in the early minutes of the fight. I say within round, I said not round, but minute 2 or minute 3, I think he sparks Chandler. It's going to be a side-end fire for as long as it lasts, but Ruffy's going to be capitalizing on all the big openings that Chandler will give him. And I think he sparks him and puts him out within the first around the 3-minute mark. So in this one, I have Mauricio Ruffy via first round TKO. So how do you feel about this one, Proschmo?
Wow, man. I don't think Mike Chandler's going to make any adjustments to pace. It's what the community has always griefed behind his name. The fact that he's just always exploding. Had he had any measure of cardio, cardiovascular in there, he may have got his way with Dustin Poirier and the likes, right? That's what everyone says, and it's true. Hey, he's lucky Mauricio Ruffy has no wrestling pedigree, no collegiate system behind him like he does. So I say it'll be a late round 3 stoppage for Mauricio Ruffy. Bloody war, man. Bloody. Crazy overhands, explosions from Michael Chandler, and of course Mauricio will get taken down. So if there's a one takedown on DraftKings for the Mike Chandler side, that's how I have it, man.
So we got the same pick once again, but different rounds. So if it's in round 1, it's me. If it's in round 3, it's Proschmo bets. But if it is in round 2, I guess it's another free play. All right, so now for our next fight, we have in the heavyweight division, we got Derek Lewis versus Josh Hokit. And how do I feel about this one right here is I'll go low confidence, Josh Hokit to beat Derek Lewis. So that's, I will say every single time Josh Hokit fights, he really like a skinny fat. I mean, well, he's not say skinny fat. He's a fat middleweight or welterweight, we've been honest. He's fighting well above his weight class. And we saw that in the Curtis Blades fight. Like, yes, he was hurting Blades, but a lot of shots would have landed would have put Blades away if Hokit was a real heavyweight. And he was getting buzzed and tagged and rocked by Blades. Well, it wasn't just a one; it was a very close fight. If anything, it was fight Blades should have won, but he fought to Hokit's level. Like, he didn't fight how he should have fought. He should let Hokit exhaust himself, fight smart, continue to exhaust Hokit, let Hokit work, and then downstretch pick a shot. But he wanted to go to war. He wanted to try to finish him. I guess the bullying got to him, whatever. Maybe Blades was bullied as a child or something. So maybe that started to come back. Yes, got bullied for his speech impediment, got bullied for the way he looked or whatever. So that little kid within him came back out and he started fighting sloppy. He fought to Hokit level and he got made to pay for that level. So he lost a close fight to Hokit. But if Hokit's getting rocked by Blades, he can't afford to get hit by Lewis with anything clean or flush. Even some great shots might put Hokit out again. He's really just a skinny, he's really just a fat welterweight we've been on. I'm not even gonna say middleweight, he's a fat welterweight. He's about like 6 feet tall. They probably gave him like an extra inch. He's like 6 feet tall. He got little skinny arms, got a belly on him. That guy can make welterweight. he's a fat welterweight. So he gets hit by Lewis, one of the hardest hitters, period, ever. It could be night-night. So no concerns there. But Hokit is the better overall fighter. He should be able to get some wrestling in there. He should be able to set the tempo on the feet. Lewis is really looking for that big shot. And Hokit, I think he can be busy. And I think that last fight, despite how sloppy a lot of that fight was, it was a good sign for Hokit that even when he was exhausted, even when he was hurt, he still was pushing. Like, he took a big step of competition. He blew his wad and he fought with pretty much on E for the rest of the fight and was battling on pure heart a lot in that fight and was able to get a win over a big, important fighter in Curtis Blades, a guy that's a long time top 5, top 7 fighter, top 3 at heavyweight. So yes, Blades gave him an opportunity and fought to his level, but still to go out there and win that type of fight, you only get better for that. So I gotta go Hokit here. I think he'll be able to push the pace on the feet, push the pace with the takedowns. I think his lack of power will kind of prevent him from getting the stoppage here on Hokit's side. I think I can see him getting some takedowns here. And again, his lack of size and lack of really sufficient grappling will prevent him from getting the finish here. No, same with Almeida. Almeida took him down, 5 rounds, but he couldn't really get the submission because Almeida was not a real heavyweight. Like, he had the technique, but Lewis was just too big, too strong, so he couldn't really get the submission the way he wanted to get them. And Hokit's even small. Like, Almeida's a true light heavyweight. He's a big light heavyweight, but he's not a true heavyweight. And he didn't really put on the weight to be a true heavyweight, so he was able to get those submissions or those stops in those positions. And Hokit's even smaller, really like a welterweight build, just got a belly on him and water on him. So I think Hokit will struggle to put Lewis away, and I see this going the full 50 minutes. I can see Lewis have some little moments in here, but the main thing I see Hokit just being busier, mixing and wrestling, level changing, grinding, probably trying to get a little body lock and the waist ride and land some little shots in here and there. But again, ultimately not able to put it together to get a stoppage. I see it's going the full 15 minutes, and Hokit getting his hand raised in the decision victory. So in this one, I got Josh Hokit via decision. So how do you feel about this one, Proschmo?
Man, it could be controversial there, because clearly the power shots, man, the damage is coming from Derek Lewis. I have Derek Lewis, and same thing, man, but by decision. You're right. Initially, I believe
you got Derek Lewis by decision or knockout.
By decision.
I think you should go knockout. Derek Lewis decision kind of credit.
I know, but you see, when Hokit begins a fight, he's blitzing. He's blitzing the first few seconds, and he's gonna realize when Derek Lewis starts to brawl that, holy shit, this is different. That weight class is different. And then Hokit's going to have to resort to taking him down somehow. Like you mentioned, chain wrestling, he's going to have to do it against the octagon wall. So that buys you a whole round. Is he going to be successful with the takedown? Yes, because he shifts his hips well. So he'll get a takedown. That's one dead round right there with Derek Lewis on his back and the crowd screaming, Hokit, you suck. That's it. So I do think it'll be controversial to that end where Curtis Blades has proven to go to a great decision, and Derek Lewis as well now with Hokit. But this time, I hope that Derek Lewis gets his hand raised, man. We'll see.
All right, and you said Derek Lewis by decision, so that's a different one. So that's our first real different pick. The other ones kind of has different methods in some of them, but that one we have completely different fighters. All right, next fight we have in the bantamweight division, we got former bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley versus Ayman Zahabi. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'll go average confidence Sean O'Malley to beat Ayman Zahabi. I don't really see anything that Zahabi does better than Sean O'Malley. I don't feel like he pushes a better pace than Zahabi. He's not more accurate than Zahabi. He don't hit harder than. I'm saying better. Zahabi is not more accurate than O'Malley. Well, yeah. Zahabi is not more accurate than O'Malley. Zahabi is not faster than O'Malley. He's not sharper than O'Malley. He might be the better wrestler, but as far as effectively wrestling this fight, I don't really see him having great success wrestling. He doesn't push a better pace. I don't feel like he has better condition. I don't feel like he's more durable. If anything, he's chinny. If anything, he can kind of fade in fights a little bit. He can be outworked, outpointed. And we've seen in the auto fight he was getting dropped. In the Vera fight, he got rocked, but Vera decided to clinch after hurting him. I don't see O'Malley clipping Zahabi and then deciding to clinch him up. That's one thing I don't see O'Malley. I see a lot of fighters do this, but I don't see O'Malley do this. Like I don't see O'Malley hurting someone and then deciding to give up his range and clinch them. If anything, O'Malley's a guy that loves to have his range and use his length to the full ability. He's not a guy that's like, oh, I hurt you. Now let me get it closer. Nah, he's going to stay at range. He's going to throw shots. He's going to throw spinning back. He's spinning like heel kicks. Like he's going to look to, he loves that range. Even when he gets hurt, he's looking for these big dynamic shots or these big long shots to put you out. He's not a guy that's going to really get in and start digging in the body or trying to throw his rear hand and fall into you and clinch. Like he got good timing. He got good range and good read on his rear hand. He's not a guy that, again, that's going to fall into it and fall into clinch like a lot of these other guys when they have you hurt. Like, stay sharp, stay composed. He don't force too much. Like, say he'll go for it, but he's not go out there and be like, to turn into a bull or whatever, see red and just start losing his time and losing his range and stuff and losing his technique and losing his gab. Oh, I see somebody hurt. I see red. Start throwing sloppy shots. You were accurate before. You got somebody hurt now. Now you missing. Now you stumbling. Now you falling. You can't get him away. Now you gas. You breathing. Like, he's not that type of guy. Like, if he has hurt, he's going to be able to put you away or at least keep you in that position and keep his range and not get sloppy, not lose his footing. And I think O'Malley should be able to win every round. Should be able to put him away. I'll say, what did I say? Second, third. I'll say early mid, probably around 2 minute mark. Second round TKO for O'Malley here. I think he'll be too sharp. I think he'll be able to find the chin of Zahabi, and Zahabi does not have the best chin. And again, O'Malley will be faster. He'll be sharper. Have more power. He'll be able to find the chin of Zahabi. He'll be able to make the angles to land his shots, make the reads, make the feints to draw out the lower hands of Zahabi, crack him on top with shots. And even if he catches him with a kick on the guard, again, Zahabi does not have the best chin. I can see him even get a rock through a head kick, like catching a head kick, maybe like get one arm up, even both hands up, maybe to kick him, shift his brain through the kick, even with the guard up, and then follow with a rear hand, wobble him. I see him wobble him in the first, maybe dropping the first, but I see him ultimately putting a stamp in him, putting a dagger in him in the second round. Again, probably rock him again, and then this time fill him out, putting shots together, put a combination together, drop him flushly this time, ground and pound. Round 2 minute, 3 minute mark, second round TKO for Sean O'Malley. So in this one, I got Sean O'Malley via second round TKO. So how do you feel about this one, Proschmo?
This is a great fight, man. I have Zahabi on the money line. And we know, again, we don't want to downplay Sean O'Malley, but, like you mentioned, Zahabi can chain anything, man. A chain grappler, chain wrestler. He's got great strike defense. And now, of course, Sean O'Malley has doesn't have the volume, but he has the elite distance traps. So in all of that, he has that famous fadeaway step back right cross. And in sequence to, let's say, for example, Zahabi looping a left hook or a jab, that's when the combination strikes or the upper body out of trajectory happens for Sean O'Malley, and the countering. So again, with someone like Sean O'Malley, um, he's very confident, stated behind press microphones already, that he knows that Zahabi is going to keep uh, Sean O'Malley from closing into a distance, into the range to pretty much hurt him. So he mentioned things like, "I know he's gonna try and calf kick me to death, and none of those things are gonna work." And I understand, because the payoff comes from how he transfers all that weight to the back leg, and so on and so forth. Right? He expects his opponents to lunge forward and stuff, so he's good at those things, but Zahabi's too strong on the grappling, bro. He's got the feint and level change. He has cage entries, chain wrestling, like mentioned. He's got the Frankenstein striking from his brother. I think that's like their strike systems over at that gym. What gym is that in Canada? Elite Gym,
Yeah,
TriStar.
TriStar. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So he uses that unorthodox striking style, mixes everything. He's known Taekwondo, karate. He's gonna disrupt O'Malley's traditional reads, bro, and that's how I think this goes, man. I think it's gonna be a controversial decision for Zahabi. Zahabi's actually my most confident play next to Cyril Gane on this fight card.
Zahabi in his traditional way, like we like on a two fight controversial decision streak. So why not three? So
Why
I
not?
got
Three?
O'Malley here round 2, and he got Zahabi via decision, via the third controversial decision in a row. So yeah, that's another different pick we got here. Now on to the next. We got our co-main event in the heavyweight division for the interim heavyweight championship. Aspinall cried, Aspinall lied, Aspinall ducked. So now we got an interim fight going down. We got Alex Pereira, former light heavyweight champion, former middleweight champion. Alex Pereira, former two-time Glory Kickboxing champion, versus Cyril Gane, former interim heavyweight champion, fighting for the UFC interim heavyweight championship because Aspinall cried and ducked. So we got a good matchup here. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going Alex Pereira, low confidence to beat Cyril Gane. It's kind of hard to pick against a champ, two division Glory Kickboxing champ in a kickboxing match. I know Cyril Gane said he wants to wrestle, or he looked to wrestle here, but from what I'm saying from his wrestling and what I have seen from his wrestling is not that good. I can see, I've seen some guys that are strikers, and I've seen them have developed solid grappling games like GSP, etc. But I don't feel like Cyril Gane is one of those guys. I feel like his wrestling is still very rough. And Alex Pereira has dealt with better grapplers. Magmangalai might not be the best Dagestani wrestler by any means, but his technique in his wrestling is still actually pretty decent. And Pereira shut down all of his takedowns in both their fights. If anything, Pereira was the only one who got a takedown in that fight. Even though it was after the bell, he was the only one that legitimately got a takedown in that fight. And Ankalaev had 25 minutes. The fight was going please wait, but he could not get a single takedown against Pereira. So I don't see Gane having that. I can see Gane getting a takedown. Can I see him consistently getting a takedown? Can I see him holding him down? I really can't see really relevant grappling approach here from Gane. And I don't think this goes the full 25 minutes that could go. And also on Pereira's side, he has dealt with people the same length. Like it's not like Cyril Gane is 6'8", Cyril Gane is 6'4", 6'5", so he's like roughly the same height. I was saying like 6'3", 6'4", so around the same height. He fought Yusri Belgori in kickboxing like 2 or 3 times, and Belgori's like 6'6". So again, he fought guys this length a lot of times who are faster, sharper, more technical. Yes, Gane might be the biggest guy he has fought, but can Gane use his size? Is Gane a guy that uses his size? Now, Gane likes to be on the back, but he likes to move, he likes to jab. And I just think it's how that Pereira should be able to deal well with. I don't think the extra weight going to really hamper Pereira. If anything, might give him a little bit more power. He might be a little bit slower, but again, Pereira's not a guy that's going to be just throw a whole bunch of volume, this meaningless volume. Like he's going to pick his shots well, he's going to go to the leg, he's going to look to take away the wheels of Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane's going to look to move, jab, throw kicks. And I see Pereira stalk him down, working behind his own jab, throwing his rear hand, trying to set the hook, and then again attacking the lead leg, and it's like taking those wheels. And Gane's gonna have to be on his bike a lot in this fight. And if he comes aggressive, then he's gonna be walking into the hook. So whether he's backing up in his traditional way or trying to do something different, come forward, he's gonna be coming into that hook. And when he throws the jab, a lot of times he got lean straight back. He'll throw his jab. He'll lean back with his chin in the air. That's why he got caught by Tai Tuivasa. And Tai Tuivasa is not even one of the best hooks. Matter of fact, Tai Tuivasa is not even known for his hooks. and he dropped you. I mean, he got big power, but he's not known for his hooks. Pereira is like one of the greatest hookers in combat sports history. So if you leaning back and two boxers catching you, Pereira's gonna catch you worse. Or he might catch you with a head kick, you leaning straight back. So when he catch you with a hook, or face you with the hook, and you lean back and catch you with a head kick, there's gonna be openings that Gane's gonna be open for it. He's not used to dealing. Matter of fact, Gane's not used to dealing with guys as fast. Well, he does train with Michael, but like in a real legitimate fight, Gane's not used to fight anyone that's for that middleweight, who has fought at a high level kickboxing level like Pereira and won at a high level. Became a 2-division champion like Pereira. So, yeah, it's a striking battle. I can't see Gane having no great grappling stats. It's gonna be a striking battle, and I see Pereira again marching him down, attacking legs, looking for a shot. Then eventually those shots will start to open, especially your legs. Legs start to go away or get taken away by Pereira. The movement not gonna be as good, and the same defensive tendency is gonna get worse. So you don't have the same legs, and you're still leaning straight back, and you can't bounce out of range as much. You're gonna start to find yourself just leaning back, still within range, and be there to be hit hard. Especially if you like leaning, and you're feeling like you're safe, but now your legs are compromised, and you're leaning, and you're still within range. You're still in the danger zone, and you think you're out of range. That's the worst time to get hit. And I see this happen around round 3. Pereira pressure him, attacking legs, ripping the body, putting pressure. And Gane starting to limp a little bit, not being able to move as much, and start to try to lean out the way of something. Get caught with a hook, get dropped, and finished off mid to late round 3. So in this one, I have Alex Pereira via round 3 TKO. So how do you feel about this one, Proschmo?
Round 3 KO. Wow, that's wild. TKO. Hey, I think this is going to be a paradox of fighting styles and chaos, man. And that's why the lines are even. You mentioned how Pereira wants to move forward, lunge forward, find ways to bait on the calf kick, so to get Ciryl Gane to move in sequence with him against Octagon War, where he could finish him with combinations like he has. It's what Adesanya knew as well, playing possum against the wall to then counter Pereira. So the problem is, though, just as Ciryl Gane saw, he had to avoid Francis Ngannou's hooks. I don't know if you remember that, right? The Predator was chasing him with wild hooks.
I watched the fight just recently.
Gane is going to have the same fears. So this is what I'm saying, the paradox is, right? So, but clearly, the ideal heavyweight, and there has to be some metric, something to that effect, where Gane is the ideal heavyweight. He does have kickboxing experience. His strike sequences are the most crisp, clean you've ever seen in the heavyweight division, in my opinion. But it's that, right? It's the early defense, like with Gane, the cage clinch sequences that I'm hoping for, I'm gunning for. The spinning back elbow on the break to prevent, again, any wild hook exchanges there with Alex Pereira, while Alex Pereira is also a threat with the leg kicks. So Alex is the king. He is leading. He is managing the distance, the spacing. He can move in or exit with no fear, because he has that strength to the limbs. He has the damage to the limbs. He's got that chip on his shoulder for sure. So Gane's going to have to be pretty clever to that end. As soon as we get to maybe a round 3 or a 4, I'm predicting this to go the over rounds for those reasons. Very tactful this fight will be. There is that round 5 body lock attempt, right? The body lock takedown sequence that Ciryl Gane managed on Francis Ngannou. That's something I could not overlook at all, right? So Gane initiated it, to be successful. And I think that at that point he made that very difficult decision to seek a leg lock submission, where it wasn't effective on Francis Ngannou, right? The transition messed up, right? He was staying heavy in half guard and side control to coast, and he got screwed over, right? Gane rolled back, right? Attacked the heel hook, and then
Gane screwed himself over in that fight.
Okay, yeah. He didn't perfectly secure the knee line. So, to that end, I have to use that metric in grappling because those sequences, as early as they were in his career, came about from the king of Africa, and an incredible heavyweight in Francis Ngannou. So I have to give the edge to Ciryl Gane and to win by submission or decision, man. Can we get a double chance here? King
I
of
mean,
Crackdown.
we
Can
can
we
we
get a
can
double chance?
we cannot do double chance. This is not betting. This is prediction. So it gotta be it gotta be exact.
Let's go. I'll take Cyril gone by decision.
All right, so that's his play. So yet another different pick. So we got some picks that are different. So it is definitely a competition here. So someone's gonna win. It's not gonna be a draw. Someone's gonna win. So now to our main event. We have in the lightweight division. We got reigning undisputed lightweight champion Ilia Topuria versus former interim champion, well, current and former interim champion Justin Gaethje. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'll go high confidence Ilia Topuria to beat Justin Gaethje. So Justin Gaethje, like Topuria, they love to choke in undisputed title fights in the UFC. Or yeah, undisputed, truly undisputed, not just undisputed BMF, because he didn't choke like Poirier's worse. Poirier chokes in undisputed BMF belts and undisputed UFC belts. He choked in the BMF fight against Holloway and Gaethje. But Gaethje at least won a undisputed BMF belt by beating Poirier or something like that. So at least, very least, he ain't as bad as Poirier. But at the end of the day, where it matters most, the real deal, he's choked just as much as, or just about as much as Poirier. Fought Khabib, got choked out. Fought Oliveira, got choked out. So twice he fought the belt, twice got choked out. I think it's the third time he gets choked out here. But I think he's gonna get diced up on the feet first before he gets choked out. He's gonna get clubbed and sub and then submitted all within the first round. Yeah, I really don't think Gaethje got too much for him. A lot of people like to glaze Gaethje's last performance, but in reality, that fight, Paddy Pimblett won the large majority of those minutes in that fight. He was picking apart on the feet, having his way with him. But the thing is that Paddy Pimblett fight with his hands so low that he would be having these great moments. He'd be dissecting Gaethje on the feet, and then he would leave his hands low, and then Gaethje would catch him, and then the round would, that's how fighting goes. You gotta, as good as you are on offense, you gotta be on defense. You can't just be sloppy on defense, especially with a guy that has power. Because Pimblett's doing great offense, getting busy. I think still, even with Gaethje win fight, he still didn't get outlanded by like 30, like 20, significant by like 30 total strikes. So he would get, again, the stats reflect what I see. Pimblett was getting off on him at will, but his defense just was not there. And Topuria, we don't got to worry about his defense too much. We don't got to worry about his striking. His boxing is some of the sharpest boxing in MMA history. Maybe the sharpest in MMA history. I ain't going to give him all that, but definitely among them. He's faster, he's sharper, more technical. Gaethje really ain't got the best defense. Gaethje's approaches to fighting are very linear, unchecked, what's called empty, what they call blind, empty, unset up leg kicks, big swing hooks, a little bit of a jab. But all these things he's doing is ducking his head off and doing a leg kick. He can run into a rear hand. He's soft to the body. So everything, he got so many openings that this Topuria, Topuria's going to look at Gaethje like a buffet. And so many things he does that are wrong. It's good for him and been great for his career, but are just technically wrong. And there's things that Topuria loves to exploit that are technically wrong with him. Again, empty leg kicks, not set up, leaning his head right off the side into a rear hand, or maybe a rear hook, or cross. Soft to the body. When he's pressured, he just ducks his hands and just leans down like that. Could get teed off to the body. He does a lot of big hooks. He'll swing his hook, chin like this. So before he can just catch and hit him, like it's been so much stuff so easy. Like he kept hit him, catch him to the body. It's gonna be a field day for Topuria. Gaethje's gonna be too slow, too hittable. And whether it be a hit to the body that's going to crump him and then get him submitted, or it's going to hit up top, or it's going to be a combination of both, like Tim to the body, get his hands low, come up top, drop him. I see a club and sub in round one within the first 3 to 4 minutes of round one for Topuria. It's just different levels of this game. And Gaethje ain't never been on Topuria's level and will never be on Topuria's level. And I think Topuria runs right through him. I think it'll be a field day. And I think Gaethje is made to order for Ilia Topuria. So in this one, I have Ilia Topuria via first round submission. So how do you feel about this one, Proschmo?
Via first round submission, man. You know what? I have Topuria by submission as well. I don't know if I have him by round 1 or 2. Is that all right if I don't give you a round? But
you got to get round. You might as well go round 2.
You have to give a round? Okay, so I will go round 2 because I could see the anaconda choke. I could see a guillotine choke, rear naked choke. There's many ways to go about it too. There's a boxing sequence that you can have Topuria exercise to, get Gaethje to react. You can parry a kick from Gaethje, which he's made famous. And then, a man on one leg is getting taken down. That's common sense. So catching the low kick is clearly how you would get him down. And he's very imposing on the ground, Topuria. He's primarily a grappler, if I'm not mistaken, anyway.
Well, originally a grappler. He's primarily a striker now, but originally a grappler.
Originally,
And
right?
the skills are still there. And Gaethje ain't got no grappling to begin with either. Like, he got wrestling, but he got no jiu-jitsu at all.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, man. So let's say, for example, like via a boxing entry, like Henry Cejudo has taught in the center, inside leg trip. That's a one way. Another way that Topuria can secure that a takedown as well, or he just clips him. And as he goes down, like you've seen with Bruno Silva and Jung Seung Park, the head prospect, just wraps him from the back of his neck and takes him out. Yeah, man. I think we've seen too many clips now of Ilia Topuria striking, exercising this neuroplasticity training from software that he applies with hardware that looks like the Meta glasses, and everything is about boxing and striking, and I'm gonna knock him out. But no, man, I'm almost sure he wants that submission. He wants who submitted Justin Gaethje? Habib. Who else submitted him? Oliveira, Charles Oliveira. So he wants to be in that conversation. So yeah, that's a great line, man. So yes, round 2, submission, Ilia Topuria against Justin Gaethje.
So those have been the full card of predictions for me and Proschmo bets for UFC Freedom 250, Topuria versus Gaethje. And yeah, we definitely got some different picks. It's not all the same. So somebody's gonna win. There's gonna be a winner. Somebody's gonna win 100. It's gonna be a big wager. And someone's walk away with $100 and some bragging rights. And we might do this again the next event, but for as far as the event, only time will tell. But someone will win, and someone will walk away with 100, someone will walk away with bragging rights. But again, this has been the full card of predictions for UFC Freedom 250, Topuria versus Gaethje. Has been me and Proschmo Bets giving you our predictions for the full card. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more videos.